Kingdom, Voyager, Cyclonus. It's a figure that... It's like things like Game of Thrones and all the rest of it. You know when a new TV show comes out and everyone who sees it is instantly like, it's the best thing ever! And you're like, doesn't look that great to me. And then, like, a year or so later, you watch it and most of the time you're right. But every now and then you're wrong. Just, yeah. So this is the Kingdom version, and it's got landing gear, look here and here. And we're just going to fold that up, just because I don't want it down. And, yeah. Let's just take the gun off the top. This, as far as I'm aware, is very accurate to his on-screen gun. Like, can't argue with. So we'll take that off. And just look at him. I'm stuck on the lazy eyebrow review. He's 50% nose cone. Well, mass-wise, no, he's not really. But I get what you're saying. It's... I've always loved front-swinging planes. Forward-swinging wings on a plane. The YF-19 from Macross Plus. Oh, so pretty. And this kind of gets there. It's not quite the same as the YF-19, but it's still good. And it's sleek, and all the panels match up really nice. And you could say maybe that's not great, but I'm pretty sure it was like that in the cartoon. The only other bit that people moaned about is this slight piece that they wish went in, but it doesn't, and it can't. For engineering reasons. But honestly, if you're looking at that, you're missing the rest of it. You're missing the forest for the trees, kids. It is beautiful. They've got the pattern on here. Like, as far as I'm aware, it's spot on to the cartoon. It is beautiful. The back, they've got the 4 thrusters. These are kind of angled, so I'm guessing they're supposed to be like outwards more than inwards, which, is fine. Honestly, I can't argue. It's absolutely stunning. And then we turn it underneath, and body, arms, legs. It's all quite obvious. But is that a bad thing? Because there's one comparison people want to see. There's one comparison. And I'd say this has one of the issues that does, and that is this. Because it's smooth, sleek, smooth, sleek, bam. 2 solid blocks. And it's parts of the chest. I understand why they're there. But it's still a solid lump all of a sudden. Where have we seen that before, kids? Well, this is the classic version. This is the Battle on Cybertron 2-pack. This came with Nightstick, which 5mm, you can put on there. Do you want to steal Nightstick? Because you can. I'm not saying you should, but you can. And it's a very different thing, but still smooth. Oh, look. Sides of the chest, although they actually cut it a lot thinner there. So I'd say points to the classics, really. But then you look at the back of the figure, because the front is pretty. The nose cone, a little bit gappy, but it's a deluxe. You've got to give the the size difference. Wings are beautiful, fine, everything's great. That, compared to that, it's inexcusable. But then you got to think, there's how many years difference between these now? This is like what? I want to say 2007, but I could be wrong. So there's possibly 14 years difference. Look, this has got landing gear too. Fold that up. But you see, these landing gear are big lumps sticking out in his shins, whereas these fold away perfectly. Again, scale difference, and many, many years difference. But as much as I love this, and this was the definitive Cyclonus for so long, got to give it to him. Have we got any other Cyclonuses? Yes, I do. So we've got these. Okay, so we're going to put them like that. And then we've got a little knockoff. is this Mech Fan Toys or something? I've got a red knockoff, which is, not bad. Again, 4 engines, yay! I've already reviewed this, I'm pretty sure, so you can go and look for that. Put that down there. And Combiner Wars, which doesn't have landing gear, it's supposed to be sort of moulded in. Combiner Wars, which is the other Voyager. So, again, nose pound, look, it's well painted. I still maintain that this is him after he's possessed by Galvatron. Like, Galvatron's been, body's been destroyed, sparks onto him, possessed him. And that's what's done this to him. So it's like the Hot Rod into Rodimus thing. That's my headcanon. But these are my Cyclonus, or my Cycloni. And I gotta tell you, it is the prettiest jet by far. Like, even if this was in the right colours, it's an absolute brick. So, that's out the running. This... Oi! Get out of there, moron. Sorry, dog's trying to eat something she's not supposed to be. This is a Silverbot repaint. Sadly, they've done what they can to it, and I still like this figure. I do. But it's never going to be full Cyclonus. This... Of the two modes, this is the throwaway, but still, it was so good for so long, I feel like I'm betraying it, because this just wins out. It's just better. Just get all this out of frame. So I guess it's probably about time... No, you go out of the way. But still in shot. Sorry. Right, okay. I suppose it's about time we transform it. And you know what? It's a really simple transformation. There's a couple of steps you need to make sure you do in the right order, but other than that, it's so easy. So, what we're going to do is get this piece here, which is the side engine, clear the arm, and we're going to try and get it loose. Now, best way to do it is get the actual thruster and pop it. So the thruster's on a panel there, so if you just pull it, you're basically just opening the panel. Get that, pop it loose. And then we're going to get this back section along this divide here and just bend it down a little. Just enough to get these tabs out. I have to wriggle it a little bit, just get a bit more space. You don't have to, but I'm doing it for your benefit. Although now it's fighting me. Normally it just bends down, but today... Alright, okay, pop these up, then it'll bend down. Silly me. Silly me. Because these side panels actually tab in here. So, silly me. Now, we're going to get underneath the cockpit here, rotate this all the way around. Okay, and we're most of the way there. You can guess what these are, you know what those are, you know they're in position. Yeah, we're most of the way there. But we've got to deal with this first. And the Transformers Prime Robots in Disguise Viacon way that they deal with this nose cone. You know the Viacon, they just closed up half the car into the legs. This is like the next step, okay? So we're going to open up the chest, open up this back panel. You can do it in a little less steps than that, but you might as well just do it all now. Open up this front bit, fold in the nose cone, close it. Open up this back piece. Get this, and with the piece with the landing gear, double hinge it inside, close the landing gear up there, close it up. And then this whole piece, I'm not sure which way it goes, that way, rotates all the way through. No, it's got to go the other way. Goes all the way through and stops. Brings the head with it. Close this up. Close that up. That's the entire nose cone disappeared into the chest. Can't argue with the kids. Bring these around, a big tab goes into the gap. Okay. And now we're literally just tightening up the legs and the arms. That's it, the whole thing is pretty much done. So we're going to straighten these out, and there's no place that the knees stop. It's one of the biggest complaints people have had with this figure, like the only complaints. A lot of people try and get him like there, but I don't like that. I have him so that this is just above the gap. So you just about can't see where the knee stops underneath. Personal preference, because if you go any further, gap. Personal preference, it's just I like to try and get the legs straight. The more in you bring it, the more further to the front it comes. So, personal preference, do what you like. Get this back panel, flip this up, bring the whole piece that they're attached to up, fold inside. No, we'll leave them out for a second. Flip out the foot, flip out the foot. Just wanted to make sure there's clearance. Because if I leave it in, fold that down. Oh no, there is clearance. Fine, okay, fine. Close that up. And then we can split the legs. Okay. Let's bring this up a little bit so I can do the arms without worrying too much. Okay. And bring them down. Bring them down. Need to untab the arm from there. On the double hinge here, look, dreaded double hinge, although that's moulded to look like vents. So that's actually very nice. Bring that around and flat onto the back there. Get the arm, rotate it, lift up the little engine that you might have been fighting with during the transformation, and it'll only go one way, so it's going to go that way because the handles stick against that angle. See there, the angle? It can't go that way. Rotate around, close up. Okay, we'll do that last bit in a minute. Tap the arm, fold that all the way onto the back, come on. Arm round, lift that up, rotate it out because of the angle, and close it up. And that is pretty much Cyclonus in robot mode. There's one tiny little step left, and that is to say, get these edges of the wings and just fold them under to make his shoulder wings look smaller. That's it, like literally. I mean, these bits are still there, so if you bend the arm, it's still hanging underneath. A little bit obvious, but really? They didn't have to do that. And that, boys and girls, is Cyclonus in robot mode. And I gotta say, very, very good. Only things I could say about it are really nitpicky. Really nitpicky. And the main thing I said, which I said in the unboxing video, is wow, he looks miserable. Just so miserable. It's like he's been called into work on his day off and he's not even getting overtime. You know, he's so miserable. Poor little fella. Is his head a little bit thin? There's something about the head I'm not 100% on. He's exactly how he should be. I'm not arguing. But personally, I'm only like 90% okay with it. There's that little niggle. Something I can't quite tell. But, beautiful body design, yada yada yada. I'm not sure if these perfectly match and the lines somewhat obvious. I'm nitpicking just to be different to everyone else, sorry. But the body is gorgeous, like this little thing with the crystal and that there. It is beautiful, I cannot lie. Legs are great. This is like a ivory and then into sort of ivory silver. So they aren't the same. Does it matter? I don't think it does. Purpley crystal-y bit in here. Look at this. A little black... No, dark purple. Dark purple on the toe. Ankle hinge. Even in there, look, moulding. It's quite nice. Look at the detail in there. It is very pretty. If you wanted to paint this, you could probably make it look even better, but you don't have to. You really don't. Arms, shoulders are about as perfect as they're going to be. Does that bother you? It's fine. Molded in there so it looks cartoon accurate for his arm bending out, like there's some sort of like material or something inside. Again, that and this at the thing are one piece. Really well done. That same sort of ivory-ish silver, same ivory-ish plastic. So they've done it for the hips and stuff. It's fine. 360 swivel. Will 360. Alright, okay. This tail fin just about catches on the arm. See there? Can't quite 360 it. But near as. Wrist swivel. Slightly more than 90-degree arm bend. Arm will 360 all the way around. Beautiful, honestly. There's a waist. That'll 360. Universal swivel. Mine was quite tight. I put a little bit of oil in there. It wasn't too tight to do. It's just, when you're trying to pose him, and you sort of go, oh, I just want to burn the light. I'd have to go, oh, hang on. No, I'd rather just be able to go, whoa. The knees, you can get a 90-degree bend. And it depends where you want to leave it for anything else. You can probably get more than 90 degree, but there you go. Apparently people complain about this gap, but you know what that gap's for? It's for this. For all of this. No, actually, they don't actually go into there. They sit around the outside. So potentially you could get an upgrade kit that just fills that and sits maybe a couple of millimeters in. And it wouldn't be touched by any of this. So there you go, upgrade kits. Send me one to test, Cover this up as well. Very nitpicky. Very, very nitpicky. Very well done. I've done the ankle, for, mostly forward. Tiny little bit back, maybe not. Honestly, can't complain. And the head is on a quite wibbly ball joint, to be honest with you. On mine, I might have to put a tiny dab of floor polish or something in there. And another hinge in here. So you can get forward and back and you can pretend he's in a club. Anyway, I don't go to clubs. I don't know what noises people make. We can get his gun that you can leave on throughout the entire transformation on the back, and that's your storage, although there are ports here, and here, and here, and here, and here, and here, and yeah, and here, yeah. He's got loads of ports, loads of them. I don't know why you'd use it, because it would ruin the silhouette of Cyclonus, but they are there, and you can do it. And yeah, so we can give the gun, and it's angled in such a way that it fits around his awkward arms. It fits. So, hats off to someone. Someone's actually put the effort in. It wasn't like 10 minutes before they leave on a Friday. Someone actually put the effort on this guy. It might have been like 11 o'clock on a Tuesday where he's woken up from the weekend. But it is really pretty. And of course, size comparisons. So, classics. And I gotta tell you, considering this is deluxe, it ain't far off in size. Combiner was. Stupid gun. Give me a sec. Trying to pop this thing off. Go away. Combiner was, which is body-wise taller, hat's too tall. And my little knockoff mech fan toys or whatever it is. These are all the Cyclonuses I own. And this, I feel like this is more a comic version. Because that's what they were doing with the classics. Everything was like, oh, it's going to look like comics. And most of the G1 cartoon fans were like, why? We don't read the comics, or we're too old for the comics, or whatever. It's like, why? Why are you chasing the IDW guys? Or whatever it was. So I feel like that's what he is. This is just someone's version of without getting sued. So I'll let them off. I've already explained my theory of him being Galvatron possessed, which is what turned him from that into that. So I'm okay with it. But again, it's like he stepped out of the cartoon onto your table. There's nothing you can say about it. Now, boys and girls, I don't have the Studio Series 86 sweeps. Or Scourge, in fact. Don't have him. But I do have Titan's Return. Who really doesn't come off very well in this pairing. Really doesn't. I mean, he worked a lot better with the classics, but bless him, he doesn't come off well with Kingdom. Now, in case you haven't got any of the figures I've already shown, come here, you go out of the way. Here's Kingdom RC and Kingdom Golden Disc Jack part, which is exact same size as Jazz. And let me adjust this down a little bit for you. Yeah, stay there. There you go. So he's a Voyager, and he's a good Voyager. Let's be honest, he's a good sized Voyager. Because a lot of Voyagers these days are basically deluxes with a couple of accessories. Sorry, don't know what that was. But no, I'm not going to lie. He's gorgeous. The jet mode, I've been carrying him around with me in jet mode, just sort of occasionally go. I've just been carrying him around. He's my new carry around figure. Now some of these joints are a little bit looser than I'd like this. A little bit of full polish. That swivel, a little bit of full polish. That elbow, I think it is. Maybe that swivel. Yeah, that elbow's okay. This elbow, a little bit looser than I'd like. You put anything heavy in his hand, and it goes straight down. So, bit of flipper. The neck, definitely, because of his wibbly head. Definitely floor polish. But it's nothing to complain about. There's nothing that can't be done. So, yeah, honestly, very, very pretty figure. And like I say, any third-party companies want to send anything, so I'll fill, like gap fillers or anything. You want to send them to me, I'll review them for you. I'm not paying for them. I'll review them for you. Yes. So, Kingdom Voyager Cyclonus. I got the best fiance in the world. Love her to bits. He's a great figure, and yeah. Remind me to put in a picture of the light piping at some point, because that light piping is just phenomenal. I'll try and squeeze it in at some point. Let's see how natural I can make it. So, I should be ugly, I should be wretched, and I shall see all of you in the next one. Bye!